Is this thing on? Hi, babies. Welcome back to another episode of Dumb Blonde. Today, I have a woman sitting in front of me who genuinely needs no introduction, but is one of the most amazing women that I have ever had the privilege of being able to look up to and aspire to be. Sitting across from me, Ms. Sharon Osbourne. I'm so happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here. Believe me, I'm happy to be back in the world again.
Yes.
And I'm so happy to be here. So thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Hanging in there. The hair looks fabulous.
Thank you.
The new haircut is like, girl, you are getting your groove back. You're looking really good. How often do you have to dye that hair? Because I used to be a redhead.
It's a fucking nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare. My neck is red. Everything I wear is red. The pillowcases.
Oh, I believe it. It looks like a murder scene every time you shower.
It looks like somebody's on my throat. It's everywhere. I have it done, the color done every 10 days.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. So that's about what I had to do too when I was a redhead. I loved being a redhead and I felt like the sexiest ever when I was a redhead, but the upkeep was more than blonde. I was like, let's give me some bleach. I'm going back. Have you ever been blonde?
No, never. And I had blonde highlights in the 80s. That was as close as I got.
Yeah, she was like, nope, I'm just a redhead. I think red is just your signature color too.
Yeah, well, my mother was a redhead and, she was Irish, so she had red hair and, green eyes. So I got it from her. Of course, it's gray or white or whatever color it is underneath. And I tried doing that, and that was just miserable.
No, I hate it, right? Like, it just doesn't feel right. I have a few gray hairs in the front, too, and I'm like, bleach it now.
I would look at my reflection sometimes, like in a shop window. I'd go, who the fuck is that? It's me. Like, no thanks.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. But you're pulling off the red. It just like, it's your signature color. But I came across you guys, I think it was Kelly, was talking about you're very particular with your morning routine. And I was wondering to myself, what exactly is Sharon Osbourne's morning routine?
Well, now it's changed somewhat because I'm up all night. I'm a bad sleeper, so I like rustle around all night. But the morning routine has to be the news, the world news. I'm like addicted to it. I'll check Instagram, check my emails, and then I start with the ice on the face.
Okay, so we have a beauty secret.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's how you look so flawless, is the ice on the face.
Get the ice on the face.
Do you put it in a bowl? Do you do that? Or
I do the bowl, and then I do it in a little baggie and just keep doing it. And then I do a face mask.
Okay.
And then I start the day.
I love that.
But I have to, I'm at the age where I have to find my eyes every day. Oh. Because you wake up and you're like, what?
I'm about to get an upper bluff so I can find my eyes. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and this one's like doing its own thing. And I'm like, is this 46? Like,
really?
What's happening?
This is it?
Yeah. This is what we have to look forward to. So I heard you talk about your mom, and I actually watched this documentary that you did last night of discovering your family. Before we go any further, do you want me to bring your microphone back so you can sit back?
I'm fine.
Are you good?
I'm fine,
okay.
Yeah.
So I watched this documentary last night of you sitting with a historian, sitting with your niece, was it? Or your cousin, your niece? And you were learning about your family. And it was so inspirational to me because I don't know anything about my family, either side that I come from. And watching you sit down with this person and discover so much about your family was so enlightening. And I was like, I'm going to do that because you really got to learn, like, your grandmother Dolly was in the entertainment industry. Your grandfather was in the entertainment industry.
I knew that they were in the entertainment industry, but I knew nothing. I mean, nothing else at all. Because my mother, yes, she would talk about, she was in the entertainment industry too. And she would talk about only professional, this is what we all did, this is, where you came from, but nothing else.
Yeah, and watching you get to discover that. And also, you didn't know who your grandfather was, right? Because your grandmother never spoke about him. So you got to know him through, like, pictures. I mean, they pulled up jail records.
Oh, yeah. My mother and her mother were arrested stealing Christmas cards from a department store. And what got me was my mother was 12 years of age. And in those days, if you were 12 and you got arrested, you were immediately put in jail to await trial. So they got caught on a Saturday, and then she was there all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and then Monday she went into court, and they were in separate cells.
Oh, no.
And I went to the actual building where the jail was, and the jail was like as big, the place was as big as this. Can you imagine being 12 years old and locked up away from your mother?
No.
And what got me was when she went into court, she told the judge that it wasn't her mother, it was her.
She took the blame for
She
it.
took the blame for it, and I never knew anything about any of that. And I was like, whoa. And then I learned that generations back, they were all born in workhouses.
And then you also learned about like, I think it was, you lost, was it an aunt that was like 18 that died from tuberculosis?
Yes.
Like there was just so much cool stuff because I never got into like ancestry.com until I got older. And I was like, I want to know where I come from. I want to know my family. And I feel like what you did was just really awesome. So,
and it was weird because I thought they would have gone to my father, but him being born in Eastern Europe and being Jewish, everything during the war got destroyed. So there was nothing on anyone. So they couldn't find anything past his mother. So then they went to my mother. Because my father was a Russian Jew, my mother was an Irish Catholic. So it's like I'm a mutt.
right. Spicy one though.
Yeah.
That's where you get your temper from. Now that I know that dad's Russian, I knew that mom was Irish, but I didn't know that dad was a Russian Jew. So that's definitely, well, that's why he was so gangster too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about him in a minute, but don't you think that it is so, serendipitous, how your entire mom's side of the family was in the entertainment center and it has literally just continued on into your generation?
I love that. It was growing up. I had an amazing childhood because it was spent on the road. The whole time I was brought up on the road. And it was like my father had a thing where he would call people who weren't in the industry civilians. And it was like I didn't know anybody who wasn't in the industry. And we were brought up in a very weird way. There were no kids' parties. There were no friends' sleepovers. It was business. And it was like, this is what we do. And it was like, I was born with blinkers on. I didn't know anything else.
It was just how you were raised.
Yeah, and it was like, you're going to go into the entertainment industry. Well, I couldn't sing. I couldn't dance. I couldn't act. I was overweight, and I laughed a lot. So it was like my father thought, oh, well, if she get, we whip her enough, some talent will come out. And there was fuck all. There was nothing.
But you had your mind.
So I went into the business side of the industry.
And I've heard you say that you're so actually, I think it was last night. By the way, congratulations on the Clive Davis Visionary Award. That is so awesome. And I listened to your entire speech last night, and it was so beautiful. You just have such a way with eloquently saying stuff, even when you're cussing. And I need to learn that because I cuss a lot too. You had said in your speech last night, you were talking about your father, and what I've seen with your relationship with your father is you love that man so much, but at the same time, you also, I don't know if the word resent is the right word or just, he just gets under your skin. It's been a very love love-hate relationship with you guys?
It was very much a love-hate relationship. When I was a young girl, I idolized him. I thought he was everything. And then as I got older and I started to work with him and learn the industry from him, I would see the way he would behave. There was always violence around, which I thought everybody did.
Right. That was your way of life and thinking, because that's all you knew.
That's all I knew. And so if anybody didn't do what you wanted them to do, so you'd threaten them. And it was like, oh, okay, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
Doesn't everyone?
Strong-armed robbery, no problem.
It's like, doesn't everyone?
Right.
And then when you learn and you get older and you see how other people live, and that definitely worried me. And then when I learned that my father's tactics with money was really not good, he was a thief. To every artist, he was a thief. He was an incredibly good music manager, and he could read music and write it.
Wow, that's a talent.
And he had a great voice because he started out in the industry as a singer.
Okay, wow.
And so he had a brilliant voice, but he never made it for whatever reason, probably because he was too busy punching people. But anyway, he was a promoter, he was a manager, he was an agent, then he ended up having his own record label. But it was then I learned that, he would f around on my mom all the time. And I was like, I thought he was like the most straight guy in the world. And then as a kid, when you see it start to crumble, and then as I was working for him, he would go, tax everywhere in the world, and I need my freedom. I'm going to put everything in your name. You sign everything, every mortgage, every bank loan, every artist contract, you sign, and it gives me freedom to go around the world without any hassle. And I'm thinking, oh, great, yeah, I'll do that. You can put that company in my name and send it bankrupt. I love that. And I was like a beard for him. And when we eventually split...
Which we'll get into that too, because that comes later. Yes, for sure. So the violence that was outside of the home, did you ever witness that inside the home?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can remember one time my dad was managing Gene Vincent, and he was a remarkable man. And I was just a kid, but he came into the house, and he was drunk one day. And, God only knows how he got a gun, but he had a gun, and he put it to a guy who was my mother's son from her first marriage, and just put it to his head and said, if you don't do this, I'm going to... And it was like, oh, okay then.
Yeah, like how do you even react to that? You can't.
No, and there would always be somebody else threatening my father, and it was just constant.
So you grew up in sort of a fight or flight mode.
Yeah, it was, but again, I got to a point where it was just like, oh, all right,
this is normal, yeah. This is your way of life.
That's what you do. I mean, at the end of the day, I ended up fighting people.
Yes, and you're spicy. You are spicy. We're going to get into some of those stories later, but I was like, this little firecracker, like, I think it's just... insane, because you're such a tiny woman, but you have you're such a force to be reckoned with and such a powerhouse.
I have a bad temper. That's what
It's okay. So do I get it. But I mean, you're also a product of your environment and how you were raised, your mom, when you talk about your mom, what was your guys' relationship like inside the home and as you were growing up?
Not good. My mom adored my brother, and I was born at a time where everybody wanted a son, and my brother was skinny, blonde, blue-eyed. He had a great personality, and he was a good actor, and he used to get a lot of work as a kid in film and whatever, and my mother adored him, and I can see why. I mean, I have my own son, I get it, but I was much more to my father. I was with my father, and my brother was with my mother.
Gotcha.
And it continued like that.
All throughout life.
Throughout life,
Oh,
yeah.
I hate that. But you got to fix that whenever you had your own daughters, I bet.
I did.
You probably
I
became
did.
the mother that you always desired to have, because you seem like an amazing mother. I mean, we've all watched you on TV for decades now, and just how you are with your daughters is a really beautiful thing. I didn't get a mom, so I was like, Sharon Osbourne's my mom.
Yeah.
I didn't get the mom card, but in this life, but it's okay. I'll share you. Can we talk about the Houston Trio, and how you discovered that, also about your family, that was their dance group that they had, your mom and her sisters, they were in a group called the Houston Trio, and they were a pretty amazing act.
Yeah. I mean, in vaudeville. It was vaudeville in those days.
Yeah.
And she was a dancer, and her mother was a choreographer. Yeah. And that's how it went. Yeah.
That's amazing. People always assume that Ozzy brought like the chaos into your life, but like we just talked about, that was what you were so used to growing up in that house with your father. So, when Ozzy comes onto the scene at 18, I think you were you 15 or 18? You were 18, and he walks into your dad's office. You were like, red flags are my color. And you were just like instantly drawn to him. Can you take me on this first day of seeing Ozzy? I know you've told the story a lot, but I want some of my younger listeners to hear it.
I was at 18, I was still acting as receptionist for my dad, learning the management side of the industry. So when people would come into the office, I'd meet and greet and do the teas. And I was also working the switchboard, because in those days it was a switchboard. And I looked like a skit out of an SNL.
Just going crazy.
Because I would have the headphones on and this thing that looked like a TARDIS, where you would plug in the calls.
Right.
And
it's like what you see on the cartoons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was me. And it was like when Black Sabbath came into the office and they all sat on the floor, I was kind of like shy, and I would like look at them out the corner of my eye. And, I was like this and putting through calls. And do you want tea? And, would you like a biscuit? And they were the oddest people I'd ever seen in my life, because I was used to working with slicker, or seeing rather, people that were very slick and together,
right.
And that smelt good and all of that.
That bathed.
Yeah, and suddenly these four guys come in, and Ozzy was just like, he had a chutchy face. Even then, he had a real baby face. He had really long hair, and he had a piece of string with a faucet on as jewelry.
A faucet? Okay. Oh, like a faucet.
Yeah, a faucet.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
We call them taps in England, so
Gotcha.
I'm trying to be American. So,
gotcha.
yeah.
Yes.
And it was in the color gold, but of course it wasn't bloody gold. And he had pajamas on, and he walked in, and he had like, we would call them Jesus sandals. They were like
Birkenstocks.
And he had Jesus sandals on, which he threw off. And I'm looking at his feet. Oh, Jesus. And that was the first time I met him. And that night they were performing in London, and we all went down to see them because they were looking for management. So they came in to see my father. And they came out of the meeting. They went in to see my dad, and we went to see them perform that night. And my father's bodyguard chauffeur drove them back to their hotel after the meeting with my father. And also my father's day-to-day guy in the office. And my father thought, they're going to give them the chat and convince them that, I'm the guy for them. Well, they didn't. They told them, don't sign with him. Come with us. We're young, we're eager, we think you're amazing, all the chat. And that's what they did.
So they ended up not going with your
My
dad
father.
and going with somebody else.
Yeah, who worked for my father, who was his bodyguard. And my father went insane.
I was just about to say, I couldn't even imagine, because I'm sure he saw the potential that Ozzy had.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we all did. We were all like, what is this?
Yeah, this is something new.
Yeah. And so I had this trauma in my life for, it was probably the first 7 years that Sabbath were together, and they instantly blew up, and they were, touring the world. And I was touring the world by that time with a band called Electric Light Orchestra.
Oh, wow. That was one of my dad's favorite bands.
So I was out with them, who were from the same town as Ozzy.
Wow.
And Sabbath. So we would pass each other.
Yeah.
At airports and all over. And I became quite friendly with them. So when they would come to LA, I'd get a phone call sometimes from the guitar player. Never Ozzy, because Ozzy was married.
Right.
And from the guitar player, and he'd say, I'm in town, where should I go? Should I go to the Rainbow? Where should I go? All of those things like you do. And then about 8 years on, I get the phone call, would your father take us back from management? These managers have stolen all our money. We've got nothing. We owe tax. Will you help us? And we did.
You took it, your dad took them back, or is this when you...
I was still working for my father at the time. And my father said absolutely yes, and I was doing the day-to-day. And there was terrible turmoil within the band. Every band, it's the same.
Yes.
Especially at that 7-8 year mark where, they...
You've been in a van traveling with these people, and you guys just cannot get along and get on each other's nerves. Yes.
Exactly. And it was just at that stage. And they all decided that Ozzy was a problem.
Oh.
And he must go.
Nobody ever wants to look inside themselves.
No,
they always want to blame everybody else.
And also, I think, to be fair, when you've got a band and before you start, they're calling for the singer. So there would always be the Ozzy chant before they would go on stage, where the crowd was calling for Ozzy. And I get it. I mean, if I was a bass player or a guitar player, I'd go, what the about me? And so I get it. They were resentful, and they thought he was a problem.
You would think, though, being in a band, you would be happy that you have a front man that the world loves, because that means that you would have more gigs.
This thing is, we get it.
Right.
Musicians don't get it.
Yeah, they're all emotional.
no matter what, the good, the bad, the ugly, they've all got egos. They all want their moment. And I understand that. I totally understand it. But in the most simplistic way, it's like, are you nuts? Why? Like,
be a front man, don't be a drummer, or don't be a guitar player. If that's the glory you want.
That was always my thing. I'm like, well, how many really, really famous drummers are there at that time in the industry, you know?
Yeah. Oh, at that time, none.
No.
Yeah.
And it was just like, you chose this. This is what you do. And you're hugely successful, and people admire you and love you. But Ozzy's got that thing.
That razzle dazzle.
And so it's like, just go with the flow, but no. And I understood it all. And then we decided to keep Ozzy on. So I said, okay, I'll deal with Ozzy. My father dealt with the guys in Sabbath. And then that lasted maybe a year. And then Sabbath came and said, you've got to choose. We don't like the fact that Ozzy's here. It's him or us.
I feel like all these ultimatums are kind of wild, especially when they came to you guys and were like, hey, save us. We're over here sinking, but we're going to come back and tell you how to run your job.
Yeah, but again, it's like, I get it. They're like kids.
Right. And musicians are super emotional. And I mean, yes, I get it.
And so we made the decision. bye.
So the band got fired and you guys kept Ozzy on. You kept Ozzy under you.
Yeah.
But your dad was still kind of co-managing, correct? Or
He was. And we were trying to move away because I knew what was going to happen.
And by that time, you were already in love with Ozzy.
Yeah.
You guys had already started.
And at every gig, I would, in those days, you'd get paid in cash. Everything was cash, cash. And I would bring back the big bag with the money, and he'd give me the money. And I'm like, I got bills to pay. We've got to pay trucking. We've got to pay the road crew. We've got to pay the band.
Right.
Fuck them. And we just disappeared. We literally ran away.
Having your dad strong arm you like that for your whole life, do you think that you getting with Ozzy gave you enough strength to be able to step away from him because you trusted him so much and was like, okay, I'm ready to be on my own and I think I can do this without my father because I have Ozzy?
Yeah, and I'd been on the road with several bands around the world. I had, at that point, I was managing another singer and another guitar player. A guy, Glenn Hughes, he used to be in Deep Purple, and this great guitar player, Gary Moore, that was in Thin Lizzy, and I put them together, and I was trying to get that guitar player from Thin Lizzy in with Ozzy, but again, don't like him. So that didn't work. So I felt I was ready, and I knew that if we stayed, I just couldn't allow my father to do that to Ozzy. He had a wife, he had kids. You just can't do that. Before me, he had a wife and kids, and it was just like, you just can't. And when you see the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into it, the hard work, night after night after night. I know a lot of people think that it's just like a continuous party, but you know what it's like.
It's like a traveling circus.
It's hard, and it breaks you down emotionally. And I just said, we've got to go. And we literally went to an agent that was working with us that I trusted, and I asked him to lend us some money. And he put us in South Carolina in a hotel, and we were hiding.
Wow. So to get away from your father, you had to go into hiding. Yeah. And then I also heard that he had sent people to kill you and threaten you. And
his guys from New York would come and they'd sit in the dressing room, put their foot here, and inside the boot you would see the handle of the gun sticking out, and your father wants Ozzy to sign this, the publishing. And I'm like, get the And I was just turning myself into my father. I was like, that was the only thing I knew what to do. What am I going to do? Go to the police?
No, you can't.
They would have laughed me and told me, go away, crazy woman. And so we spent, probably the first 3 years of my kids' lives. We'd get phone calls, what are you doing in LA? Get the kids out, blah, blah, blah. I knew it was all his people, and it was terrible.
That has got to be such an, I couldn't even describe that feeling of just knowing that your father is almost hunting you.
Yeah. And the more successful, the worse it got. The more successful, he became obsessed.
Do you think that he would have really hurt you, or he was just threatening you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
And so that split lasted for 20 years because, he became obsessive and the stalking and the harassment. How do you close that gap with your dad? How do you find that forgiveness in your heart for him after putting his own daughter through something so brutal?
He lost everything. He went on to manage other successful bands, but he lost it all.
Wow.
And
I just got goosebumps.
And, the big houses, the cars, the staff, everything went. And he got Alzheimer's. And I got a call through a mutual friend in the industry, and they said, your father needs you. He's got nothing. He can't pay his rent, all of this. And by this time, my mother had died long before, and he was on his own. I didn't want to do anything, and it was Ozzy. And he said, you've got to go. You've got to do the right thing. And I'm like, the right thing's to leave him. And,
let him burn.
Yeah, really. And Ozzy insisted I did it. And I did. I got him from England, and I brought him back to LA, and I got him nurses and set him up in a place, and that was it.
Were you able to have a conversation? I know he had Alzheimer's, but were you able to have a conversation with him to where he told you at least that he was sorry or anything like that? No, you never got the sorry you deserved.
No, never. Never. Mm-mm.
I'm so sorry that you didn't get the sorry that you deserved.
It was weird. It was very weird, because when he eventually passed, I'd already mourned him, because when we left and ran away from him, I was mourning him. I missed him so much, and I couldn't believe what he was trying to do to me. So I went through years of that.
And having to mourn somebody while they're still alive is probably tougher than when they've already passed.
And then when he eventually passed, I didn't shed a tear. I'd done it years before. I was actually relieved for him, because he was, I mean, it's the most wicked thing to have that disease. It's horrendous.
No.
And I was actually relieved that he was at peace.
Well, I'm proud of you for taking care of him, even if you didn't want to. And my parents in life, I had to do the same thing. I left home at 14, never met my mom till I was 36. My father was a relationship like how you and your father have. And in the end, I got to take care of both of my parents in their death. And I always say that in some weird way, it's like their way of closure for us. Like, it's kind of like how the universe just gives us a little bit of closure, like that we would have never gotten before. So I try to always see the blessing and the lesson in it.
Yeah.
So I am proud of you for stepping up and taking care of them, because I know from personal experience, it is not easy.
No, it's not. It's not. And it was like the first time that I actually saw my father after 20 years. I walked in and he goes, oh, you're still fat. And I'm like, yeah, I am.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, even though he had Alzheimer's, he could still give insults.
You didn't deserve that.
No, and I was just like, oh, shit.
You're like, you know what? Why don't you go back to England?
Yeah, really.
I'm going to ship you back right now.
Yeah, bye.
So let's go back, because I heard you talk about Ozzy's marriage that he had before.
Yeah.
And if you want to cut any of this out, we can. I know that he was married, and I know that you guys got together while he was still married.
Yeah.
Are you friends with his previous wife, and do you have a relationship with those kids also now?
It's very complex.
Got you.
Ozzy's wife was married very early. She got pregnant very early, and she was married and had a child to somebody before she met Ozzy.
Got you.
So when Ozzy and her name is Thelma, got together, she had a 5-year-old child. And they married. Ozzy was already in Black Sabbath, and they were just starting to break. And she was a student, and they were young.
Right. It was like one of those first love things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Babies. The pair of them were babies, and there's this young girl who had a baby, and she's a baby. And their lives just went in opposite directions. He was constantly on the road, and when he was home, he was drunk and acting I can only imagine. And it fell apart. It couldn't stay together. They were two totally different people that had two great kids. That was their connection, was the kids. And I knew her, but we were so different. I was a big-mouthed, flash kid, and she was a student. So I would come in a room and F and blind and, and she would look at me like, she's crazy. And I get it.
You're like a little mobster yourself. So I could only imagine how you were back then.
So you can. So we had nothing in common other than I was always respectful to her because she was Ozzy's wife and they had their children together. I'm very close with Ozzy's son.
No, very good.
And, it's always the way the girls go with the mums, the guys,
Yeah.
And we have a great relationship and adore him. And my kids adore him.
I love that. I love blended families.
It's a unit,
Yes, I love that. We have a blended family, as you know, also. So I respect it and I love it. I've heard you say a few times that Ozzy was actually romantic. I've heard a couple of times that you say that. Can you give us a couple of examples of Ozzy's romance?
He was more romantic than I was.
Which I think a lot of people would have a hard time believing. Yeah.
So romantic. He would when we were first together and, that whole initial thing of meeting someone and you fall instantly in love and, that honeymoon period. There's nothing like it. And he would go back to home and I'd go home and he would give me a couple of T-shirts and say, wear them so you could smell me. Yeah. And in the T-shirts or the pockets, he'd leave little notes. And it's like,
how can you not just fall in love with that over and over again?
When we'd be away from each other and we'd come back, he would always have a gift for me. Always.
That's amazing. Yeah. That is so beautiful.
And later on, I'd always been a night person. And so I was, usual up all night. And in the morning, he would come in with breakfast for me that he'd made. And there would be a note and a flower.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I love that. People really don't realize how boys at home take note, writing little love notes for your girlfriend or your wife. Just me. Any note that Jay has ever written me, I still have saved. Because I just think it's an art. It's like it's really like a lost art.
It is. Yeah. It is. And when he would be on the road and I wasn't there, he would write me letters and post them. Oh. I mean, it's like,
How could you not love him?
He was so easy to love because he was, everybody has this perception of what they think Ozzy was. He was just a guy that wanted to be loved.
And from the Osbournes, we got a glimpse of you guys. He was such a lovable dad, when he, with you, he was so lovable. Like you could tell the man could not live without you. And I think that when you guys did the reality show, we actually got to see how your family dynamic worked. Before the Osbournes, can you take me back to how was it balancing his career and then you coming into motherhood on your own? Because I couldn't imagine trying to balance Ozzy Osbourne in the, 80s, 90s, and then you having babies and having to did you have to slow down or how did that even work?
Do you know what? I look back now and I go, how in God's name did I do it?
Yeah.
When Amy was born, we had a crib put in the back of the tour bus.
Wow.
And
she's a road baby.
A road baby, absolutely. And she was literally raised on the road. And then there's only a year between each of them. And because I lost 3 before I had Amy. So they were born within a year. And again, it was like me.
They came back, not to cut you off, but they came back to you. You lost 3 and then you had 3.
Yeah.
Aw, yeah. That's so beautiful. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, not at all. And they were raised on the road. So it's hard, because I wanted them to have roots. I wanted them to have security. I wanted them to have that warm home, that safe place. that's their home.
That you never got. You never had a safe space.
I didn't, no, but they did. And, every school holiday and, they were out with us on the road and we just made it work. I mean, I look back, honestly, at some of those Osbourne shows and I'm like, you little shits, how dare you talk to your father like that? I mean, they were gremlins.
Oh, no, there was a couple of clips that I watched last night and I was like, I don't know how Sharon didn't, just freak out. But you always had so much patience. And I think what was so cool is that no matter how, Kelly was really known for kind of going off a little bit, no matter how much she would go off, you guys always responded to her with love. And I think that as parents, that's one of the hardest things you can do, but also one of the most important things you can do. Because, when you meet fire with fire, the only thing it does is creates a bigger fire.
Yeah,
but you created such a safe space that your kids were able to talk to you, and express their emotions, and you didn't shut them down.
I would always listen. Ozzy would always listen, but they believe me. When we'd be in bed at night, we'd go, "Can you believe what they said to us? What are we raising here?" I mean, they were gremlins.
Yeah, I feel like Jack was always so sweet, right? Maybe we didn't get to see the gremlin part of him, but Jack was always just so sweet and like whatever floats your boat. And then we didn't really get to see Amy because she didn't want to be on the show.
Yeah.
How did she come about deciding that she didn't want to be on the show?
Amy has always been. She was very mature as a child, very, very mature. And it was because of the upbringing that she had. So she knew her own mind, and she said, it's not for me. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be recognized everywhere I go. I want to just have my life to me. And I thought it was an incredibly mature thing to do.
Absolutely. Especially during that era, because that's when...
It's like going to the Grammys. And I said to her, we're going on Sunday and with the red carpet. She goes, "No, I don't do the red carpet, Mom. I'll be there, but I'm not doing the red carpet." And she's still the same.
She just stuck to her guns.
Yeah.
But
and
you did that.
I respect it.
Yeah, you did that. You raised a strong woman like that. So, yeah. Which one of your children is most like you, and which one of your children is most like Ozzy?
I think Jack is most like me, and Kelly's like her dad.
Aw. I mean, she has the man's face. Like she is like a young Ozzy. When you look at her face, she is literally her dad.
But you'll see Amy, you'll see her on Sunday and Saturday.
Okay. Yeah.
And she's really the image. She has his hair and she has his, there was a really quiet, I know it sounds funny to say it, but there was a really quiet side to Ozzy where he, Ozzy didn't like to mix with other bands. He liked to be with just normal people.
He didn't care for the egos and the fluff.
Oh my God, no. And I mean, we all know, we see it every day. I mean, and especially with lead singers. I mean, the lead singers, it's like, I can remember Robert Plant years and years ago said, again, they came from the same part of England, and Ozzy was in his house in early 20s. And he said to Ozzy, tell me, what does it feel like to be in a room with the world's greatest rock singer?
And Ozzy's like, are you talking about me? Wow.
Yeah. And he's still probably one of the most egotistical men I've ever met in my life. And you just go, shut the fuck up. You're old, you're fat, shut up.
That is so crazy because, huge Led Zeppelin fan, of course. So I had a podcast with Jacoby from Papa Roach, and I had read a story where he had disrespected a festival that he played at. I think was it Ozfest? I'm not positive. It was a festival that you were running, and you pulled him in the back and you read him the riot act. He said that he had never had the tiniest woman put him in place like he did when you put him in his place. And he said from that day on, he got his together and he wanted to thank you for that.
That means a lot. That means a real lot. It does.
Yeah.
It does.
No, and especially for that guy, because he was wild. So for you to make that impression on him, I think that was just really beautiful.
That's great. And it's like, because so many times you see these young kids with great talent and they are surrounded by yes people.
Yes.
Yes, you're right. You can behave any way you want. You've just sold so many records and really, you go and do it. Fuck them. And it's like, no. No. You know, if you want to stay in this business a long time, if you want to have a long career and you want people to invite you back again to work with you and, you know, you have to, you know, it's so easy to lose your sense of reality when you get new fame. It's so easy. And I've seen it happen to so many people who were genuinely good people, but they were just drunk with the fame.
Yeah.
And so they, you know, said things, behaved in certain ways, and they could never get their career back. And it's sad. So you always need somebody to say, hey, what are you doing? I don't care how many records you've just sold. You want to sell more in the future, then shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
And so people need that. But they're surrounded by yes people who are scared. Oh, they'll fire me.
Yeah. Well, it made an impact on Jacoby's life, and we'll put these clips together, and I'll send it to you whenever I get it, and that you can hear him talk about how much he admires you, and he is really thankful that you gave him that reading of the Riot Act because he needed it. Yeah.
And you know, so many of these kids that I've seen that have never made it through, you know, they've lost their lives, and it's like, fuck, if only they'd have had that one person there.
If only they'd have had a Sharon Osbourne pep talk.
And it's like, you know, even the older artists, you know, I look at people like Chris Cornell and it just fucking breaks you. It's like, if only there had been that person, that one person there for him at that time. You know, it's heartbreaking when you see these people, and every day there's somebody else that we lose, you know. It's
People joke about OCD all the time. Like, oh, I'm so OCD. I like things neat. Yeah, that's not it. For me, OCD shows up in really normal moments with like something as simple as shaking hands with other people. A quick interaction can trigger intrusive thoughts and anxiety I didn't ask for. That's what real OCD looks like. And it's also why understanding OCD matters so much. Because OCD is a lot more serious and a lot more misunderstood than most people realize. OCD is a serious and highly misunderstood condition that causes people to get stuck in a cycle of stressful, unwanted thoughts, intrusive thoughts, and repetitive behaviors and compulsions, which can become debilitating. OCD can focus on anything and often targets the things we care about most, causing us to question core values, beliefs, or feelings about our loved ones. But with the right kind of help from a specialized therapist who truly understands what you're experiencing and is trained to treat it, OCD is extremely manageable. At NoCD, every therapist deeply understands OCD. NoCD is the world's leading OCD treatment provider, and all of their licensed therapists go through extensive training to recognize and effectively treat OCD. NoCD therapists work with you in live face-to-face virtual sessions, and NoCD makes sure you're supported between sessions with powerful in-app tools, therapist messaging, peer communities, and live support groups, all in the NoCD app. If any of this sounds familiar, don't wait. Visit nocd.com and book a free call with their team to get connected to someone who can help. That's nocd.com. It's heartbreaking.
But your old man will be good.
Yes.
Because he's got you.
I listen. Hey, I love that man. You know how it goes. I love that man more than life, and I couldn't imagine life without him. He pisses me off, but I love that man more than anything. I think if they don't annoy you, you don't love them, you know? Like,
of course. Of course.
You know, like, I just love him. He's the best human. And now that he's lost his weight, it's
does he feel good?
I get a different version of him now, where, you know, before I loved the big guy too, you know, but I always knew the skinny guy was under there. Yeah. But now it's like I'm getting to watch him live his life out loud. and he's falling in love with himself. And I love to watch him walk by the mirror, and like he'll flex his little shoulder muscle, and he'll be like, "Baby, look, I got a little shoulder muscle." Like he's just so excited, and he's like a little boy, and he's just running and doing everything that he could. Now he wants to skydive. I'm like, we lost all this weight. Do we really want to attempt death?
You should go with Jack. Jack does it all the time. Does he?
Yeah. Okay, we'll have to connect them because he's trying to make me go, and there's no way in hell I'm going up. I was like, I'll wait for you on the ground. I'm like, I'm not doing. He's like, baby, please. I'm like, absolutely
no fucking way.
No
way.
Thank you. See? No. Tell him I'm not allowed to go. Mom, tell him I'm not allowed to go.
Stay inside the plane. Bye.
No, I don't even want to go up there. No, I don't even want to go up there. No, I'm not doing it.
Okay. One quick story.
Give me all the lore, Sharon.
Okay. Before the bodyguard left that stole Sabbath, my father had another bodyguard chauffeur, and his name was Peter Grant.
Oh, wow.
And he used to take my brother and I to school in the car, and great guy. And he left my father and he said, I'm managing a band, I'm leaving. It was Led Zeppelin.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah.
I get goosebumps just hearing this because you have so much lore. I grew up listening to these bands because my dad was a musician. So, these bands were just like, I hear you speak and
weren't they amazing?
It's just crazy.
They were incredible.
We're never going to have music like that again.
Never.
Ever. Like this was an era that, 70s, 80s,
it was pioneers. It was pioneers. And now everything is digitalized. You steal a bit of this and you steal a bit of that. Oh, the digitalized, don't get me on that one.
How does that make you feel seeing all of this now? Because you have been in each decade and you've worked so closely in the music industry to see where it is now. How does it make you feel?
Well, there still is, that organic, that purity in the industry. Thank God there are. Not that many, but there are. And, then you get the stuff that's manufactured, like let's put a boy band together. Or I see this kid from Disney and, this kid's got it. Let's sign her and, we'll nurture her and she'll be the next big thing. I get all of that. And I get the electronic shit too. And I don't mean it, but to me it's shit. But people love it. And I respect that. Great. Love it. If I was on, what do you call it? Poppers and Coke and booze, I'd love it too.
Right. Well, I feel like it detaches you from a soul, like you're hearing
the same thing repeated.
Right. The same pitches, the same frequency. And it's just, it's not like when Janis Joplin would sing and hit 7 octaves in one note.
You get goosebumps.
Literally.
And you hear their soul singing to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And that is what I live for. And so when I've got this guy that's brilliant on a computer and he can do whatever and it comes out and it's great. It's not my thing personally, but I appreciate people who love it.
Yeah.
And it's like, knock yourselves out with it. But for me, I prefer
the real thing.
I prefer that. I want to hear their soul.
Yes, same, exactly.
And
we're just not getting that anymore.
No, it's dying. It's dying. And now with AI, I hate it.
It's scary.
Hate it. I'm totally against it because it's going to destroy people. It will destroy people.
It will. I found a Christian song the other day that I absolutely fell in love with. So I went to go find the band. It was an AI track. I was like, are you kidding? It was a rock Christian song that I had never heard before. And I was like, who is this? I go to look and it is a freaking AI band. And I kind of was just like, how could I have fallen for that? I couldn't listen to it after that because I was just like, I don't feel like this is real. I feel like it's almost not right.
To me, it's like what has happened with streaming.
Yes.
Where people don't want to buy a body of work anymore. They'll listen to a track or maybe 2 tracks from that album and then they're gone. And, we would would listen to somebody's body of work from beginning to end, and now everything is attention span of 3 seconds, 3 seconds.
I call it the microwave era.
Yeah.
Everybody's just ready for the next 15 seconds.
Yeah.
That's
and, you know, and all of this about, oh, it's brilliant. We've got 1 trillion streams, and here's your check for $35. And you're like, yay.
You're like,
and
I can't wait to be in the music industry.
Really. It's like, that's why touring is everything now.
Yes.
And your merchandising, your name and likeness. And then comes AI that will strip everybody of all of that.
Yes, which is so scary.
It's terrifying.
Disconnected. It's disconnected.
It's terrifying. You know, I see what's been going on with AI since Ozzy passed, you know, and I'm like, what the hell? And it's like, no. You don't do that. You ask first.
Absolutely.
It's the Wild West. There are no laws. Yes, you know, you register your name, your likeness and this, but it's the Wild West. Who the hell do you go to say no?
Right. We need to put some sort of law in place.
There has to be, and unless the record companies, and I don't think they will, because I think they love AI, I don't think they're going to stand by the artists because they don't sign your name and likeness.
Right. Wow.
So it's like, oh, it's not our problem, that's yours. And so I am totally against it, because this is just the beginning. Can you imagine what it's going to be like in even 18 months, because it moves so quickly,
yes.
the technology.
No, it's scary. I've been watching it happen for the past like 2 years, just how it's gradually, and the way they introduce it is so like passive. It's not like in your face, but it's like, oh, here's a little bit here. And it's almost like they're trying to get you used to it. You know, if I don't know if you're getting
brainwashing.
I didn't want to say that, but that's exactly how I feel like it is.
That's what they do, and then everybody wants to do it because I can make this guy look like this. I can make him sing like this, and oh, he looks like this guy. And it's like, no, you don't understand. That's a human being. You cannot take his face or his voice and make a film.
No.
And a silly little whatever, a short film or whatever you're trying to do, you cannot do that.
Yeah. No, you can't. It's honestly very scary. I showed them a video on the way home from where we were at earlier, and it was a woman, an older lady, like dancing, and it was an AI video. And I was just like, this is so scary. Like, everybody's going to be walking around soulless soon because there's really going to be no human connection.
No, you know, and then you've got Musk coming up with the new robots in the house that are going to clean the rug, and
I might want a couple of those. I might want a couple of those.
They frighten me.
Did you ever watch the movie? What is it? Chappie and Johnny Five.
Yes.
Like, give me a sweetheart robot like that.
But if you see the ones that look like dogs, and
no, those are
creepy.
Like those are creepy.
Freak me out.
I can't do that. No, those creep me out too, because, you know, man's best friend, you want to be able to snuggle it and smell the Frito paws and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So moving on from AI, there was a video I saw of you and Kelly and Jack talking about how during, you know, when you would find some of Ozzy's weed, you would have Kelly in the bag.
Oh, Jack. Didn't matter to me.
Can you please take me on this journey of shitting in his? Was it just the weed, or was it any that you found you would have somebody shit on them?
Oh yeah, anything. I mean, I can remember even finding booze, because he used to hide booze in the oven because I don't cook. So he knew I would never open the oven. And so there would be bottles in there, and, you know, I would rub it in the baby's diaper. And so when he went like this, he'd go, because what do you do? Because no matter how much, you know, with addiction, no matter whatever you say to somebody, they physically can't stop. So as a younger woman, I thought, this'll stop him. It smells like shit. He ain't going to drink that.
And did he ever drink it? Or
no.
Okay. I mean, because Ozzy's pretty crazy.
He threw up.
But if he would bite a head off of, you know, a dove, baby might not deter him, you know?
No. It's, you know, by the way, I did ask him why he did that, because I was with him at the time.
Right.
And he just goes, you know what? They don't want me here. They don't like me. Did you see the way did you feel the atmosphere in the room? I said, well, we were only in it for a minute, but that was his reaction.
Do you feel like Ozzy was an empath? And that's he picked up on people's energies and...
Oh, my God. He could suss somebody out. He would come in this room and he would look at everybody in here. And he... Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could see it on him. The more, like a lot of the stuff I was watching last night, I could see that which is why he was so like, you are his person and, you know, the kids and stuff like that. I could see that he just took on so many emotions and feelings of other people.
Yeah. And I mean, absolutely came from nothing. I mean, no running water, no toilet inside. They had to go outside into a shed and, you know, they used to wipe their bums on a newspaper. Mm-hmm. I mean, they had nothing. They used to get one bath a week, and that was on a Sunday. And it was a big tin bath that his mum would put in front of the fireplace. Aww. And she'd fill it up with water from a kettle. And Ozzy was the sixth one in it.
Wow.
The same water.
Wow.
And there were 8 of them. So there were 2 brothers later that got Ozzy's water. But it's like, can you imagine? And, you know, he would go to school and he didn't have a school uniform. Mm. And so he'd get sent home, or they'd say, you're dirty, you can't come to school. So he would get thrown out of school and just wander around the streets until it was time to go home.
Mm. Where did all of his pain come from? Was it from his childhood?
Yeah.
Did he have an abusive home?
He wasn't so much abuse as it was people who had nothing. Right. Factory workers. After the war, England was very poor then anyway. You know, there was never enough food. There were 6 kids and mum and dad in a 2-bedroomed house. Mm-hmm. So Ozzy would sleep there were 6 kids in one bed with no blankets. They had coats on. They would sleep in a coat. Mm. No blankets. And it's like, people don't believe it. We kind of grew up seeing movies about these things, and we know that in certain parts of the South in America, people were raised like that.
Yes.
And it was the same in England. And, you know, but he appreciated everything. The first time he ever went and bought himself a gold watch, we went home and he said, I can't keep this. I have to take it back. I can't keep this.
He just didn't feel like he deserved it.
No. And he just thought, what a waste of, you know, what other things I could do with that money. I can't just have a watch that's made out of gold. It's not for me. But I changed his mind.
Yes. Behind every strong man is an even stronger woman.
Yeah.
Can we kind of touch base on your guys' razor blade romance? Because I know that the tabloids and the headlines have had such a field day with his infidelity. I'm going through it myself because my husband had an affair for a year behind my back and admitted it on a podcast. And I don't hear the end of it. So I could only imagine how you have felt through these decades with people always asking about it.
Yeah, Ozzy was a terrible flirt. But it was his insecurity. He hated to be on his own. Mm-hmm. And when I started to do things on my own and do work for myself, we were parted and he hated it. Mm. And he needed that ego boost constantly. And when it's there, if there's a piece of cake here, I'm going to eat it.
Right.
I don't say I'm going to find out where it's made and go to the factory, but I'm going to eat it.
Right.
And he would, you know, if there's some girl there said, I want to suck your dick, Ozzy, and he'll go, sure you can.
Yeah.
And then they turn up in the next town, and then in the next town, then they become a problem. They won't go away. And, and Ozzy at one time had women all over the world.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys have kind of like an ask, don't tell policy in your marriage when it came to him touring because you just didn't want to know about it?
It didn't bother me because, again, I saw it all over
Right.
and over and over again with so many musicians. I was, my father did it, and my mother. Every band that I ever worked with, it would go on. Mm-hmm. So, I would see marriages crumble because of their infidelities on the road and, the whole thing. And so I was like, it means nothing. It's only when that person dwindles their way in and then they become a problem. And then
it's emotional.
Your partner gets frightened. If I don't see them, then they'll call her, or they'll do this, or they'll do that. Or if I don't get her a gift, or I don't do this, I know she'll do this to me. And so then it becomes like
an uneven trade.
Yeah. And that's when it's like, no. I mean, we had terrible fights about it. And it's like, I understand people's insecurities. I understand their loneliness, and I understand that piece of cake there. It didn't bother me until it got to the point where he was going nuts with it, and then it was like, I can't do this. And believe me, the things that I did to him, my response was not cute. I mean, I feel bad about the things I said to him and the things I did to him because he was doing this to me. And so it's something that I bear on my back. Because when you love someone so much and you have a life together, and you can be so mean to people who you love.
You hurt the ones you, what is it? You hurt the ones you love the most.
Yeah. And, I bear that.
I don't think that's something for you to bear, though. I think Ozzy completely understood where that came from. You were a wonderful wife to him.
He knew, but it's still something that sucks.
Can I give you a hug?
Yeah. And I'm all sweaty.
Oh, it's okay. You're an amazing woman. Amazing woman.
You're not so bad yourself.
Thank you. If I could just be half the woman you are. I actually had to answer this question today when they were asking me about the affair, and I pretty much said the same thing you did. And it's when you love somebody so much, you're not saying it's okay. You're not saying it's okay for them to cheat on you, but you're also saying like, hey, I'm willing to go through hell with this person because I choose to.
Yeah.
This isn't for you. This isn't your life. No. Because so many people on the internet are like, oh, I would have left him. You're a weak woman for staying. And I'm just like, bro, you don't live in this.
And you've never loved someone to a point where you cannot live without them.
Yeah.
And it's, I get that a lot, and a lot of women say that to me. To this day, you were weak. Why didn't you just walk away? How dare he do that? And it's like, you're not in my shoes. No. You don't. I was never the sort of woman that had a million boyfriends and was dating all the time. I had a vision in my life. I wanted to have a career.
Yes.
Guys, I would be like, nah, he's all right. Fuck him, move on. It was never a thing in my life. I felt secure on my own. Mm-hmm. I didn't need to have a guy on my arm to feel like I was somebody. I could walk into a room on my own.
Right, yeah.
And so I was not one of those women. And then when you find someone that turns your life upside down and you are like, oh, God, this is it. This is what they write about.
Yeah.
And it changes everything.
Everything. And only people who have been through it and feel the way that we feel can relate.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks,
No,
because
it
look at the
doesn't.
life you guys built together and the legacy that you guys built together. Your lives are your testimony of your love.
It's like, it's so easy to say, you should have left.
Yeah. It's not. It's not. Did you ever want to get retaliation, as far as not physical, but did you ever want to get back at him and go and date somebody else? Because I'm sure you could have had anybody you wanted to.
Fuck no.
Would Ozzy have flipped out?
First of all, guys are afraid of me. And
I think it would be kind of a turn on for some of the guys.
no, not at all. I was never one of those people. It was like, I used to hang with so many musicians, and it would always be my girlfriends would go, oh, you and it's like, ew.
Yeah.
Music. And two, a lot of women, if they don't work with a lot of men, don't understand that you have men friends.
Yes.
I've got men friends in this industry I've had for 40, 50 years. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean I'm...
No, not at all.
And so it's like, I was never... Like I say, I didn't need someone on my arm to feel good.
Right.
I was bullshit and loud, and it was like, I'm all right.
Yeah. I love that. I love that you stood firm and just loved that man until the end and did not ever want to get any sort of revenge on him. Can you take me into the story about you guys in Japan when you broke the picture frame over his head? Because I'm having a really hard time visualizing this.
Oh, yeah.
She said, oh, yeah.
We were in Japan, and I was there with Amy. She was all of, 3. And Ozzy'd gone out and whatever with the guys. And, I knew he would come back legless and whatever. And I put the lock and the chain on the door. And I kept hearing this click, click at the door. And it was about 4 or 5 in the morning. And so I go to the door and I open it. And there's Ozzy with this little Japanese girl with hair, long hair all the way down her back. And she looked at me and I looked at her. And Ozzy looked at me and goes, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "What do you mean? We've been in Japan already 2 weeks." And
he was so faded
so
that he forgot that his wife was in the hotel room.
Yeah. And so he's bringing up this beautiful little thing with him. And I just went, no. And there was a mirror on beside the door. And I just picked it up and went, bash. And this little girl ran down the hallway.
She probably thought it was a setup at this point.
Oh, God. I don't even think she could speak English, to be truthful with you. And Ozzy just went, oh, all right then. And he sat there with the frame over him. And I said, you can sleep out there tonight, too.
Oh, my goodness. And how long would an argument like that last?
Not long at all.
Not long.
No.
And you just
what are you going to do? You'd spend your life like being angry and no.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you dumb thing.
Yeah.
2 weeks we've been here.
Yeah.
And that's how loaded you are.
I love the understanding that you gave him, though. You gave him so much grace. And I think people don't realize how far grace can go with somebody.
I'd always seen alcoholics and addicts in my life, but as a young woman, I didn't understand what it was because I never had a problem with it. I could stop any time I wanted, and I was never a druggie, ever. I would drink, and I was the worst drinker in the world.
Did you have a problem with alcohol?
I know, but I couldn't take a lot of it.
Right, okay.
So if I'd had 4 drinks, the next thing I'd get my tits out. And I'm like, what am I doing?
Let's get the alcohol going, baby.
And it's like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
It's insane. I was such a weak drinker. So I didn't understand that it was something that you physically cannot stop.
It's a demon that you just cannot or that you're going to battle.
You know, and then when you get into it and you educate yourself about it, and all of these people that do this have a huge hole, you know, inside that they cannot fill, or they're hugely insecure. They're carrying something from their childhood, and it's so easy to say they're a drunk, or they're an addict, you know. Yeah.
And then just toss them to the side and not.
No.
I think that's so beautiful, though. Again, that goes back to the grace that you've had for him. The last thing I want to talk about as far as his infidelity is a story that I, read about his affair that he had with the hairdresser.
Yeah.
And that was like your breaking point. And in my book, I talk about wanting to take my own life when I found out about my husband having the year-long affair behind my back. And I don't think any other woman who, unless they've been through it, knows what crushing pain that is to find out that it's not just a sexual relationship.
Oh, yeah. And I did when I found out, and then my kids put me into treatment. Aww. And I did. I mean, it was just like
what kind of treatment? Like just a therapy?
They sent me to no, I was sent away to a nut house.
Oh.
I shouldn't say nut house because they helped immensely. But I needed treatment. You know, I was mentally like crushed. I was like, you've been there, you know. It sucks. No matter how long or how short it was, it just sucks.
I love you.
I love you too.
And I am so proud of you. You are one of the strongest women that I have ever sat across. And I know that probably doesn't mean much to you right now, but I hope one day that you just know how beautiful of a woman you are inside and out. You have raised so many of us, Sharon, and so many of us look up to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being the woman that you are. You want one more hug?
I'll give you one
more
on.
hug. We're going to hug it out, and then let's move on, because I don't want to talk about it hurting you anymore.
No, I mean, it's like when you realize like something so serious as taking your life, when you have children, it's the most selfish thing in the world to do. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize that until I went into treatment and I saw girls whose mothers had done that to them, and they were in there for treatment because they couldn't live. They couldn't face life. Mm. And then when you see that, it's like, fuck, no, ain't the answer, unfortunately.
No, you have
it's
so
the
much.
Easy way out.
It is. You have so much to live for. And I know I literally held a bottle of pills in my hand, and I know it was God that night that came down to me and was just like, no, what are you doing? You have a testimony to tell, and this is your testimony to tell. You don't know how many people that this podcast is going to reach that are at that breaking point, how many broken women are out there right now that need to hear this from you, so thank you for being so vulnerable and so open.
I'm a crier.
It's okay. I'm a crier too, but I'm trying to hold it together right now, because if I start crying, we're not stopping.
No.
The floodgates open and it's like freaking Hoover Dam over here. So let's talk about the decor that you had on the Osbourne show, because my husband and I have liked to dub ourselves. So here's the thing. We get compared to you guys all the time, which we could not even compare to a fly on the wall with you guys.
That's not true.
But we get called the modern day Ozzy and Sharon. And I mean, even down to our house decor, you have inspired so much, because what we do is we call it country gothic, because we mix it together. But your house decor literally just spawned a nation of people decorating their houses like that. Where did this style come from?
I got a personal thing about moving houses and decorating. If I hadn't have ended up in the industry, I would have probably been a decorator.
Wow.
I love it.
So that was all you?
Yeah, I
Amazing. It wasn't like a set design. I guess that was my question is that all you?
That was our house. And I just love decorating, mixing things together. And, and Ozzy and I would always, wherever we were, we would go and bring something back from whatever country we were. Like when we first went to Russia, we couldn't believe the artwork there and the old icons that you could buy that were carved on wood. And so wherever we were in the world, we used to go and bring something back for the house.
I love that. I think we'll start doing that too.
Yeah, you have to, because it's all memories. It's all memories, And like now I pick up saying, oh, well, we were in New Zealand when we got that. And it just is, it becomes such a memorable thing, and it's a part of your life.
I'm going to start doing that. I love that. You've accomplished so much in your life. And I remember I was glued to charm school whenever you guys were, she's like, I already know what's coming.
Oh, I'm waiting for it. Go on.
I have to ask because all the TikTokers want to know the tea, because that clip goes viral at least once a month.
Oh yeah.
Charm School, an amazing show. I only watched for you. I was obsessed.
I love Bret
Michaels? Oh, is he really as sweet in person as he seems?
Oh my God, he's unbelievable. He's such a great guy, a sweetheart, big heart.
I love that. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I've never got to meet him, but I'm sure
he's a good guy.
I love that. So there was a scene where you guys were sitting down and there was a girl, I believe her name was Megan, who said some really obscene things about your husband, and you got up and you poured a drink on her, and then you swung.
I actually pulled 2 hair extensions out of her head. But, and the thing for me is, it's so hard because I know TV. I've worked in it. I know it. And I was set up, and I fell for it. But it was because it was about Ozzy. If she'd have said things about me, I was like, yeah, you're right, yeah, come on, more. But it was like, how dare you? And she was having it off with the producer of the show. And so they set her up. They told her to do this because they wanted my reaction. And the thing that I would always do is I love women. I support women. And I hated doing that because she was a young girl. But I'm like, hey, baby, not my husband.
I'm a girl's girl also, but I do believe that if you put yourself in a situation to not deserve grace, you're going to get it. We match energy.
Yeah.
Like there's a difference between being a girl's girl or just letting people run all over you, and you can't do that. I support women who actually deserve to be supported.
Yeah. And I'm all for it. And like a lot of the reality shows now that are about women, I hate to see them picking on each other. I hate to see it. It's like, no, support them. And if you don't like them, why are you doing the show?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to work with people you don't like. So why would you put yourself in that position? I've done it a million times, walked away from things because I don't like the people. So you leave.
Yeah. Not all money is good money. And not all publicity is good publicity.
And saying that too, the charm school was such a huge payday for me. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it. It'll be fun. And the producer was very, very bright, and he knew how to get me. And it all came out because she sued me.
That was my next question.
Yeah, she sued me, and it all came out in depositions and shit. And, so my insurance company gave us $65,000 to go off, and that was it. But I fell for it. I feel like back then, though, the paparazzi, the reality TV shows, all that stuff, women were not protected. No. Like, it was a freaking heyday back then. And the men really took advantage and manipulated so much when it came to stuff like that. So, I mean... And they still do. I mean, look, a load of the reality shows, they ply you with alcohol. They encourage you to drink. They, they want to get that TV gold. They want to get that 2-minute clip of you beating the shit out of somebody. And they got it. I delivered.
One hell of a historical moment that doesn't go away, Sharon.
I know.
Do you ever see it go viral and you're just like, shit?
Click, click, click. It's like, oh, please. And that dum-dum is probably twice divorced by now.
I don't know. She completely fell off after Charm. I know nothing about her anymore.
Me
Yeah.
neither.
Where do you... I don't even know how to ask this question because we've had so many tears. So I just want to kind of be very gentle with you. Is now, and what's happened recently with Ozzy's passing, I know that was probably one of the hardest, was the hardest thing that you've ever had to go through, was watching the love of your life pass. How are you picking yourself back up?
I'm getting there. I am. I'm getting there. It's hard.
I couldn't imagine.
Jesus, it's hard. But I'm getting there. I'm going to keep working and I'm going to keep doing what I do in my life. And that's it.
Did you guys know that he was going to be passing whenever you guys did his last show? Is that why that show was done?
Yeah.
So you guys did have a warning and you knew that?
Yeah. 2 weeks before the show, they said he could probably die, and he did. But he wanted to do it so bad. He needed it, and it's like, whether I die in 2 weeks or I die in 6 months, I'm still dying. And I want to go my way. And he did. He went like a rock star.
He did. He did go like a rock star. My husband and I's heart broke when we heard the news. And I mean, there's nothing that any of us can say to you and your family.
It's kind of bittersweet because, again, we knew Ozzy had sepsis earlier on last year.
Oh my gosh.
And very few people ever walk away from that without losing a limb or their life.
My manager had sepsis and she lived. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my God. I mean, God bless her because...
No, it was a fight, a battle.
It's a nightmare. And as soon as he got sepsis, the kids and I, we knew it was time. And then when we went to England, he went into hospital for a week. And when he came out, they said, Ozzy, this could kill you. And he said, I'm doing my show. And it was, he went out like a king.
And you stood by him and just made sure that everything he wanted on the way out was...
The thing is, when you've lived your life that way, and it was like, okay, 6 months more to go out the way I want to go out. It's like saying, when you get really old and somebody's still smoking, and they're like 78 years of age, and you're like, just let them smoke.
Right.
Leave them alone. Just let them. They're 78. Leave them alone. And it's like he went the way he wanted to go. He knew.
When he was in his last hours, as his wife, what are you feeling? How are you getting through this? Like, I couldn't imagine.
It was so quick, and thank God that, and I knew when they were trying to revive him, I knew. I'm like, don't do it. Leave him. He was done.
I'm so sorry.
But again, he went out like a rock star.
He did.
Ooh, did he ever?
But he's not the only rock star in this relationship.
No.
You are a rock star.
I'm just a loudmouth. He was a king.
He was a king, and he was your king.
And he loved people. He loved his audience. He loved them so much. And even if you didn't like his music, you couldn't dislike him. He was one of those guys like your old man.
My husband loves him so much, and I see so many similarities in those two.
Oh God, I know. I've watched him speak, and I'm like, oh God, I know. I know what he's going through.
And guess what? He married a loudmouth too. I am so protective of my family and just exactly how.
Oh yeah, it's like you can say anything about me.
Same.
There was this band, this Irish band that are very, very horribly political. And I don't like that when people bring it into festivals or music. People pay to be entertained, not lectured.
Yes, music is an escape.
Oh, my God, is it ever?
Well, because it's creating more chaos in the world.
It's not good. It's not healthy.
Rage Against the Machine was the perfect example of how to mix politics with music.
And do you know what? Tom Morello is such a brilliant musician and an even better human being. I adore him. And he and I politically, you couldn't be further apart. But we never speak about it because I have so much respect for him. And that's that's his thing. It's not my thing. It's his thing. And it's like when you get people now in this industry that will destroy relationships over what you believe politically.
It's crazy.
It's like, are you nuts? It's like, hey, everybody's entitled to their thing.
Everybody.
But you're not entitled to people who buy a ticket to preach to them because they've not gone there to hear your political views.
Amen. I truly believe in that too.
And it's like, you just don't do it. So anyway, this group then went to their next festival. And on the screen, it was so fabulous. They had Sharon Osbourne as a cunt. So I wrote to them and I said, you've missed 2 words out, guys. Sharon Osbourne is an old dry cunt.
Oh.
And it's like, you can say anything about me. What is it going to do to me that this
You're like
this insignificant who are probably C category at best musically.
What band is
talent
this?
wise. Oh, they're called Kneecap.
Okay, great.
Really?
Never heard of them.
And it's like you can't hurt me.
Why would you come onto the scene like that with such a chip on your shoulder against against a woman who literally is rock and roll?
It's because they're ignorant.
It's entitlement.
But they're ignorant.
Yeah.
They're ignorant. Firstly, they have no idea who I am. They're, from Ireland, IRA, all of this shit. God bless them if that's what you're into. Hey, don't do anything to me. Go do it. God bless you. But they're ignorant and they don't know who I am. They know nothing about me, obviously. And it's like, you can't humiliate me. You say something about my husband, I'll kill you.
You'll pull 2 hair extensions out.
Oh, yeah.
I can't do that. I feel like the world needs so much of your wisdom. Would you consider doing reality TV again? Would you consider doing a show of some sort where it's just you?
I would do, because I'm so old, I've lived such a life and met so many extraordinarily different people in my life. And I'm, a lot goes in there. And I like to judge everybody as an individual. And whatever your beliefs are, the way you want to go about them is your business. But when it comes in to affect millions of other young people that love you and they want to listen to you and they'll say what you say, let them do their own thing. Let them find their own path politically. But they're here to listen to your C category music and that's it. Give it to them.
But that's why I'm saying the world needs your wisdom.
But I would do something political.
Would you?
Yeah, because I'm kind of
president?
I'm at the stage in my life where I've seen it all. I know right from wrong.
Yes.
I know. I've seen it all.
And you have a just moral compass. Like you.
I do. And I know how I fucked up. I don't hide the things I've done. And it's like I've learned. Because unless you learn, why are we here? We're never going to go to the next place if we don't learn.
Right.
You come right back here and do it all over again.
All over again.
Believe me, I've learned. And there are too many young people spouting out that don't have life experience. They don't have it. And I do.
Would you run for something out here in California, or would you do it in your homeland?
I would have to do it in my homeland, and I've really, really seriously thought about it.
Please do it. Please do it. I feel like it will, not that you don't have enough purpose, but I feel like it will be so cathartic for you and also give you a new purpose, like something to look forward to.
I like to help people. And when you can see situations from both sides and you go, hey, come on, there's compromise. And that's the thing that there's so little of. There's no compromise.
Can you do it out here in the U.S.? Because we need it. We need that, please.
I'm scared to say my political beliefs here because I'll get shot.
No, you don't have to.
Believe me, it's bad in England. You can get arrested in England if you do something political or against the government and you say it online, they'll come and arrest you.
Wow.
They put a pregnant woman in prison for months because of what she put on her social media.
Because she had an opinion.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that.
Me, it's bad everywhere.
Wow, that's insane. Yeah. Sharon, thank you so much.
Will you vote for me?
Are you kidding me? Can I be like, I want to be your first lady. Can I be your first lady, please?
Wouldn't that be fabulous? Oh my God.
I just want an excuse to dress up and look cute and just stand there and be like, what she said, what she said. I'll just be behind you clapping all the time. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I love you. I love you. I love you. You are a beautiful soul.
I feel like I've got a new best friend.
We are besties for the resty, baby.
I know.
I can't wait to hang out this weekend at Clive's. We're going to have so much fun. I can't wait. And anytime, when you want to come back and announce your presidential race, please come back and have a seat on my couch. I will have you anytime. And if you ever just need a friend, you will always have one in me and my husband.
Bless you.
Thank you so much. Miss Sharon Osbourne, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Dumb Blonde. I will see you guys next week. Bye.
You ain't no dumb. Stop that shit.